What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video by yours truly. I want to address this notion that Acheron isn't free-to-play friendly. I could not disagree more, and I think it's a bad take. And I want to address the points and provide my argument on why I believe it's a bad take. And a lot of these points I'm going to be bringing up are going to be quite objective and true, whether you want to, admit it or not. One, let's start with the points I agree with. If you're saying she's not free to play friendly in the sense that you already have a Kafka or a Jing Yuan on your free to play account, there's no need for you to pick up another lightning DPS. That's fair game. I don't refute this argument at all. If you're somebody who's just saying, I just don't like her, I don't like her design, I don't like who she is, yada yada yada, I think you're weird as but to each his own, and I respect that. And if you're offended by that, I don't care. You're weird for not liking Acheron. There's nothing to not like about her, but to each his own. Like I said, those two takes I can accept, but saying she's not free to play friendly, from where I stand, based off the insight that I have with this game and the knowledge I've accrued over the course of its tenure, she is the most free to play friendly DPS in the entirety of the game. In fact, no other DPS in the game is going to bring out a free to play player's value the way she can bring it out. She's the only one that brings the most dog shit sustains to the front lines to actually be utilized again. Granted, some of them do need a particular light cone to function at that level, but hey, if we're gonna sit here and nitpick all of this stuff, you can nitpick any other DPS in the game. Imbiber de Lune, for instance, is absolutely dog shit if you don't have Tingyun, Sparkle, Scooby-Doo. Like, everyone needs certain things to function, but the one who can function with just the free-to-play stuff that comes with the account in the game the most is Acheron. And I want to go over all of this. Let's like literally walk you through this stuff. I pulled up my free-to-play account so that we can talk about these things, and you could see the tangible evidence that nobody else is providing that free-to-play value the way Acheron is. So when we're talking about like bum-ass free-to-play value, like you literally only have the free-to-play units that come with the account type of ordeal, Acheron is the best DPS in the game when it comes to this scenario. Like we're gonna try to address all spectrums here. Let's start with the bum scenario. Okay, March 7th, the Fire MC, Japard, if you lose a 50-50 to him, which I'll tell you what, I feel like his percentages of ruining your 50-50 are higher than others. All three of these units will function with this light cone right here, Trend of the Universal Market, right? It literally gives free stacks to Acheron every time they hit these units. Fire MC is one of the best sustainers in the game to use with Acheron because they can taunt the enemy and force them to keep hitting them and just funnel stacks towards Acheron. So like this type of thing is wild that people just gloss over that. Like, well, she's not free to play friendly because if you don't have this light cone, then their value goes down. Let's say that is the case. You don't have this light cone. I will admit a lot of their values do go down. However, you have Gallagher on her banner who literally inflicts 2 different debuffs. And Gallagher on her banner, just provided you go for Acheron, obviously, you're gonna get a copy of Gallagher, right? Unless you have the most dog water luck of all time, you should be able to pick up a copy of Gallagher. Bro's ult inflicts a debuff, and then his enhanced basic attack inflicts a debuff. So you have sustainers that she can function with off rip out the gates. So even if you don't have universal trend of the market, you still got an alternative known as Gallagher. If you get more copies of him, great. Pella, the debuffer that is debatably the best synergy in the game for her, she's on her banner as well. So you already have a sustain and a debuffer being given to you for completely free on her banner, in addition to already having the sustains for completely free given to you by the game. Serval, or Serval, whatever you want to call her. Another Nihility unit that synergizes with her. And guess what? If you put the Fermata light cone on your Acheron, let me go ahead and pull that up. So if we put this light cone on our Acheron, which is literally free to play, you can just buy from the shop and get the little resource to buy all copies of it. And this is assuming you don't have one copy of Good Night and Sleep Well. You put Serval on the team with Acheron, another free unit given to you for completely free by the game. This works on your Acheron. So you have Serval, you have Pella, and now you have Gallagher or the Fire MC or March 7th or Japard, all free to play sustainer preservation units that can synergize with that other light cone if you have it. If you don't, Gallagher works just fine with her. No other unit in the game is going to give you that kind of functionality with what the game is already handing you. It's just not going to happen. And furthermore, no other unit is going to be as strong with free-to-play investment at this level as Acheron will be on your account, without even hogging up your Harmony units. Keep that in mind. The game hands you everything you need as a free-to-play player to make Acheron work. And if it, whatever pieces it doesn't give you, they're already on her banner, which is Pella and Gallagher. Now, here's the other thing I want to get into, right? Because there's different layers of free-to-play players. There's the bum scenario, which I just told you about. But then there's the free-to-play player who's been playing since day one, or the one who's been playing for quite a bit of time, which is me. I've been playing my free-to-play account since before Topaz's banner. I always forget. If you're curious and seeing my free-to-play account investment, go watch the video. I'll link it here during this time point. I'll put it down below in the description box, but you'll see. I have been playing this at such a casual pace, it's not even funny. Getting back on train of thought though, if you've been playing for a good degree of time, you have either or. You have either Ruan Mei or Sparkle, which my free-to-play account, I picked them both up. Now, I did get lucky. I won the 50-50 on Sparkle, which was nice. Well, I didn't win the 50-50. I got a 10 pull right after losing a 50-50 to Himiko, a copy of her. Who cares? Take off Sparkle off this account. You should, if you've been playing, you should have Ruan Mei or Sparkle, one or the other. If you don't have one or the other, your account is scuffed and you need to reevaluate whether you want to continue playing the game. If you thought you were based for skipping them both, I don't think you're based. I think you're a moron. Well, that's just my opinion. I don't care if you're offended. That's just how I feel about it. Why would you skip both Sparkle and Ruan Mei? Just doesn't make any sense.
I play the game how I want to play it. I want to enjoy the game, and I don't like them.
0 cents. Weird. Just mad weird, bro. You deserve to be baked. You deserve to be roasted. I'm sorry. I'm gonna roast you. You should have one or the other, okay? So if you're the kind of free-to-play player that's been playing for a bit, yeah, you're gonna have a Sparkle or a Ruan Mei. And then now you could literally just run a composition like this. Ruan Mei, Pella, and then you have your sustainer, who it could be, again, it could be Fire MC, it can be March 7th. In fact, March 7th, you'd have a triple ice scenario with Ruan Mei, and if the enemy's weak to ice, you're gonna freaking shred their shields down. And when you break shields, that's an inflicted debuff as well. So you could run triple preservation right here as a free-to-play player. Boom, put that one light cone on March 7th, you're good to go. And again, if you don't have it, then swap her out for Gallagher, not a big deal. But now Acheron's in this slot, and this comp is gonna function incredibly well. She inflicts a debuff with her ult if you freeze the enemies and build her with the adequate effect hit rate. Pella, if you have Resolution Shines as a Pearl, we already know about how good that is. That inflicts a debuff as well as her ultimate, as well as her skill if you have her at E4. If not, it's not a big deal. Ruan Mei, her ultimate applies a debuff on each unit that you attack with her during her ultimate. And then Acheron. Guys, name another unit in the game that is going to meet the level of DPS that Acheron's doing with this comp and this investment. Jing Liu is not doing it. Stop lying out your ass. No, she's not. Okay, I'm sorry, but Jing Liu needs a Bronya or a Ting Yun or a Sparkle. If you run her on this comp, the insanely mid results with Jing Liu. Don't even try to lie. Okay, nobody else is going to give you this free-to-play value. People get lost in the details too much. People like the reason they're saying she's not free-to-play friendly is because they're too busy worried about how much stronger she is with her signature light cone versus what she's able to do without her signature light cone. I win to lose one cycle with Fire MC Trailblazer. I shouldn't even have to go any further. The fact that bro one cycle with the Fire MC Trailblazer is already wild, right? But Fire MC Trailblazer, Pella, Black Swan, and Acheron. And Acheron was rocking a Fermata, right? Fermata on Acheron. Everyone else is free to play value. He kept it strictly free to play. Got a one cycle. That is broken. That's not even like functional. That's not even like, oh yeah, that's not bad. No, that is broken. Anybody who's doing it with that kind of team, that's broken, guys. I don't know what else to tell you. Fire MC? Nah, bro. Now, he had the Fire MC light cone on his Fire MC, but a lot of people will have one copy of that light cone. A lot of people will. I'll be honest. And if you don't, it goes back to the Gallagher's alternative. The comment that I saw on this man's comment section, we got to go over that. It was the dumbest comment I've ever seen. We got to address this. Let's look at it. Okay, guys, I want to go over this comment with you because it has 575 likes, which goes to show you how clueless this community is with regards to functionality. This person said she is functional without her S1. It's just that her S1 gap to her free to play 4-star alternative light cone is too big. Under what metric? Under what perspective? What is too big? What are we talking about here? Right? Because that light cone is like overkill. You don't even need it. Bro just one cycled with a fucking Fermata, guys, and a Fire MC on the team. And bro's talking about the gap with the signature light cone is too big. What is this try hard ass Redditor nerd shit you're talking about? What is Blood waffling about? He is waffling at Waffle House with a side of milk. I don't get it. Like, you just watched a one cycle with a free to play team strictly, and you're talking about a gap being too big for going for a light cone. You got 5 cycles to clear. What is this logic? Let's continue on though. It gets worse. I don't know why people are doom posting how useless she is without her S1. Sir, she might be worse than both Kafka and Jing Yuan right now in terms of lightning DPS. I would pay to see Jing Yuan and Kafka one cycle with that comp. I would love to see you one cycle floor 12 with a Jing Yuan or a Kafka with the same exact investment in that composition. Put a Fermat on. Now Kafka is more free to play, way more free to play friendly than Jing Yuan. Kafka could actually probably do a 2 cycle with that same comp. And that's with a Black Swan, her best in slot character. Probably gonna do a 2 cycle. I'll be honest with you. With the Fire MC, oh yeah, probably a 2 cycle. The fact that bro is so delusional to think that Kafka and Jing Yuan are stronger than Acheron with this level of investment tells me everything I need to know about how many people just don't know what the hell they're. Bro, 575 thumbs ups. Does little pup not understand how crazy and broken it is that Acheron got a 1 cycle with that comp? with a Fermata, bro. And let's keep going. But keep in mind, Jing Yuan and Kafka are older units. They get better as time progresses because the release of new units helps increase their value. I'm sure Acheron will be getting her moment in the future too. He's speaking like this 1 cycle performance with the most bottom of the barrel account is a bad thing, or like it was subpar, when in reality no other unit in the game is going to be able to pull that off. Like, the closest unit is Kafka. And even Kafka is not doing that with her best in slot synergy, who is Black Swan. Not at free to play in a Fire MC? Brother, what? No Ron May either? No Ron May. Oh, that comp is ass cheeks. It's probably gonna get 2 to 3 cycle clear. So the delusion that these people have, these are the same people going on Reddit and telling you that Acheron needs her signature light cone. I needed to provide that context. It's so important. The same person that's telling you that Kafka and Jing Yuan are better than Acheron. Bro, Acheron is so much better than them. It's not even funny. She dead ass power crept up, bro. Like, there's not even a debate about this. She power crept them so hard. This girl is not 0 cycling with just 1 comp like every other DPS in the game. She can 0 cycle with like 3 different compositions, and that's just getting out of the free to play domain and stepping into like playing her optimally domain, right? You put her with a signature light cone, she's literally 0 cycling with multiple compositions. But take her out of that scenario and she's outperforming everyone on a free to play level. So like, what are we talking about here, guys? Again, I challenge you, who else in the game is going to perform with this? I guarantee you every damn DPS in the game is going to be dog shit with this composition, provided Kafka, because she actually does synergize with it to a degree. But even Kafka is going to be under Acheron with this performance and this level of investment. Like, off the top of my head, Seela, dog shit, 100%. Seela not only needs high stat investment, which can take you who knows how long. You not only need high crit rate on Seela, you need a high crit damage, and you need at least a Sparkle or a Ruan Mei or a Ting. You need somebody. Like, you can't just like put Seela on a pure free to play account without having certain things. This is why I don't like the nitpicking stuff, because like, if you're gonna nitpick this character, then you need to nitpick everyone else. Even Blade, who is debatably the #1 I don't need anybody else but myself character in this game, still needs a Branya or a Pella or a Sparkle. He still needs somebody else to function, and even then he's going to perform on a spectacularly mid-level. So what argument are we making here that is saying that Acheron isn't free-to-play friendly here? Oh, that's right. Because you think that because her signature light cone performs so much better, that all of a sudden that takes away the fact that she still clears all content in the game exceptionally without it. This is like, here's the requirement. Here's the requirement to clear the content, right? Free-to-play Acheron is like right here. Signature light cone is like up there, bro. Like it's chilling on the moon. And they're like, oh yeah, dude, that gap's too big. Yeah, she needs her signature. No, she doesn't need her signature light cone. It's overkill. There's a mad difference. There's a fine line between needing a signature light cone to make a character function versus just getting it because it does more damage and it performs better. The last thing I want to talk about is, too often, and I've said this in my previous videos, do theory crafters and people in this community also try to make an analysis off of a character in the now instead of making the analysis based off of how they're going to age as well? Are they going to age like milk or age like fine wine? The fact that she synergizes in perpetuity with all debuffers and in debuff inflictors, plus the game giving you more units that inflict debuffs upon themselves versus the ones that are already existing in the game. This goes over people's head all the time. They did it with Kafka. They said Kafka's dog shit. Look at Kafka's meta now, right? And then she's about to get power crept by Acheron. But Kafka aged like fine wine. Why? Because we knew more dot synergies were going to come down the line. Acheron's already performing well on a free-to-play level. You could literally be the most bum free-to-play player, and she's going to take your account to the moon as time progresses. To conclude this conversation, if you really are free-to-play, you're not even worrying about like getting sweaty. You're just trying to get things done at a bare minimum level. And if you're like fresh out the gate, you're just starting today, you're not even worried about MOC, pure fiction, simulated universe. You don't care about none of this shit that's happening right now. You're just trying to get through the game and then get your characters built up. Trust me, I know. I got the free to play account right here in front of me. I'm doing the same thing. But like, you should be looking at things in a 2-month time span versus a now time span. Like, oh, I pick up my Acheron. She works with all the free to play units on my account better than any other unit in the game. And over the course of the next 2 months, I'm going to work on getting the pieces I need to make these characters better. Because the reality of it is there's not a single fucking DPS in the game that doesn't do the same thing. You pick up an Imbiber Lune, you're like, oh, waiting on the Sparkle, waiting on the Ting Yun. You know what I mean? You pick up a Jing Yuan, waiting on the Sparkle, waiting on the Ron Mei, waiting on the Ting Yun. You're always waiting on something with every DPS in the game. So this argument is just dumb as shit from all facets from where I stand. Food for thought. That's going to wrap it up. Done with the yapping. Had to vent here a little bit. Catch you guys on the flip side.